Let me bang.
I do let you bang. Hey,
let me bang you, James, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.
Greetings, marriage and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No forget Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy?
What's up, people? Welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. I got Don Fry here, or the man, the myth, the legend, killing it. But I have a bone to pick with you, Don. So last week,
what is it?
Last week I was like, "Hey, we're gonna do the podcast Tuesday." Sean's like, "I can't do Tuesday. Do Tuesday." All right, we'll go Wednesday. And you said, "Hey, man, I can't do Wednesday. How about Friday?" You said, "Works for me." And you were nowhere to be found on Friday. I moved it all for you. Where were you on? Do you even know where you were Friday? Where were you Friday?
I have no idea. At least I wasn't holding some white rat though. What you got there in your hands, boy?
We have people. We had mold in our house, so they had to like redo the whole downstairs. Bathroom was leaking, so now we have. So my wife calls me 10 minutes ago saying the guys are coming to inspect it right now. Like I'm like, great, like right when I was about to start the show. So I said, oh, okay. So now this dog was gonna go crazy on these guys and try to lick them and hump their legs and everything. So I have to hold her while these guys are outside with me over there. So that's what's going on right now. She's only a couple months old, but she eats everything. And she actually the other day she shit out a Crayola crayon. I was like, why is her poop red? And then I realized, but it wasn't just like blood red. It was like, magenta. It was like, so I'm like, there's no way. And then it was yeah.
Hey, wait. Did you say magenta?
Yeah, magenta. It was so.
What the fuck no man says magenta. No man says magenta. What the fuck is wrong with you?
So yeah, so she pooped out a crayon and she, we put pee pads on. She there we go. Yeah. Look, there you go. There you go. This is
that's a dog.
Yeah, that's a
So you put pee pads down for yourself?
For myself, and she sleeps on them, and then shits next to it. So they're very, very, very disciplined dog. But
that's a female for you, yeah.
Pretty much, yes. And then
holy shit, it flies.
Yeah, we have a cat that just ran up, and she loves to torment the 17-year-old cats on her last legs. Cat wants nothing to do with her. So now the cat's shitting upstairs because the cat doesn't want to go downstairs because she just chases her everywhere. Yeah, man, it's a fucking zoo up here. How are you doing?
I'm doing better than you. I never thought I'd ever say that.
No, you can't. Yeah, she wants the cat. This poor cat has like lived through like 9 animals that's been here. The cat hasn't. We have a cat that was a feral cat that people were throwing rocks at it before I got it because it was in someone's garden. So hey, come on. All right. So anyway, did you watch the fights last week?
No, did not.
You know what happened?
If I'd have known, I didn't know that the odds were like 650 to 1. If I'd have known that, I'd have dropped $100 on Strickland.
It was
I didn't know that.
It was 6 to 1. It was 6 to 1.
When at the start,
it wasn't 650. It was 6. Oh,
somebody told me 650 to 1.
No, it was 100. Yeah, it was 100 to win 650. So it wasn't. The odds weren't that crazy. But basically, it was the weirdest fight. Like, Adesanya is probably the most frustrating champion because he either looks like the world beater of world beaters, where he goes out and just smokes everybody, or he just shits the bed.
Yeah.
And he fights down to the level of the competition. He came in, did not look like he was in great shape. His punches were in slow motion. And the first round was like kind of a typical Adesanya round where he kind of feels the guy out, yada, yada. And then he just got clipped. He got clipped hard, fell down. Sean almost finished it. And you could tell he went back to the corner and said, what he hit me with. And the guy explained to him it was an overhand right got to him. And I think that just fucked him up the rest of the fight. Was, have you ever been hit before where you had no idea what you got hit with, Don?
Oh, fuck yeah. Hey, I lost your video. I can't see you. I'm going to have to hang up and call you back. Can you entertain yourself and the people for a couple of minutes?
I will. Thank you.
I don't know what the hell. Somehow I lost.
All right, no problem. McCorkle, how are you, man?
All right, man. Thought you were talking about me when you said I looked like I was in slow motion. I couldn't win any punches and I was out of shape. I was like, they've been watching my fights before I signed on here.
My wife, we had mold downstairs. So my wife called these guys to inspect the mold. And then, of course, right at the podcast, which is fine. I mean, I'm happy she did it. But the dog now keeps chasing these guys. So I have to hold the dog while they're here. So, yeah. We're talking about the fight. Did you watch the fight?
I did. Believe it or not. Yeah, I actually did.
What were your thoughts on it?
I think Adesanya probably didn't train like he needed to coming into the fight would be my guess. Like when you can take stuff for granted. I started doing that later in my career, just assuming I would beat people, because I was fighting guys that were terrible. But he probably assumed there's no way he could lose to Strickland, and he didn't look like he's in shape. It didn't look like he's warmed up. And I think, man, when you get hit like that, especially when this guy's not supposed to beat you. Don actually commentated one of my fights when a guy he shouldn't beat and he was kicking my ass. And you start thinking like it's a nightmare. Like this isn't going to happen. This is surely, and it's almost becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know what I mean? You start thinking like, great, now I'm getting tired. Great, now you know what I mean. Now he just checked that kick, and it's like it starts becoming a nightmare that you didn't think would happen. But you start feeling like I felt anyway, like it was almost destined to happen then, especially when Don says you look like you're ready to quit. You hear him say that from cage side when you only got hit with one kick in the first round. He's like, McCorkle looks like he's ready to quit. I was like, holy shit, man, the fight just started. Yeah.
I mean, the fight was really boring until he landed though. I mean, yeah. I almost was like, oh no, it's going to be one of these fights. And then that just woke me up. And then I was like, holy shit. I actually didn't get to watch it live because I was on stage. But of course, as soon as I got off stage, everyone's like, dude, a new champion. All my texts were, and I'm like, motherfuckers. Like, so then I didn't even want to, then I knew what was going to happen, but I still couldn't believe it happened like that. Now, Dana White says that it looked like Adesanya didn't show up, didn't train. He looked fat. He looked slow, but he's going to give him an immediate rematch. Right. Do you think he should have an immediate rematch?
I think they're desperate for Adesanya to be champion, but more so for Strickland not to be champion. I did find it interesting that a couple people said fag or called someone a fag after the fight. And that's what they want to talk about at the press conference. Not that Sean Strickland said he always envisions murdering a drifter, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Like or he just keeps saying like, I think about picking up a hitchhiker sometimes and killing him. Like he's saying something, they have no problem with that, but you better not use a gay slur of any kind because that's what all the talk's going to be about. But it's only a matter of time before he's suspended. He's already said like he's pre-canceled, man. He said things so offensive. If I'm saying it's offensive, it must be bad. He said things so terrible in interviews, you can't even imagine that it's really happening.
Well, now, I know RG3, the football player, he posted a video of this guy is your champion. And it was a video of Strickland saying that women shouldn't be able to vote. And I'm pretty sure he said that tongue in cheek. I don't think he was actually saying, he's like, look at what happened after they started voting and it started going off. So you wonder how many more people are going to find.
Oh, he's got a point there. It did go to hell, after they got the vote.
I did love how that Nina girl interviewed Strickland and Don Fried, and she goes, "You remind me of Sean Strickland. Are you his dad or whatever?" And Fry's like, "I don't know, might be." Like he didn't know. He goes, "Who's Sean Strickland?" Like he didn't know who Sean Strickland was. I thought that was really funny.
I mean, Strickland, but it's crazy. It's crazy how. Now, do you think it was a matter of him looking good? Because someone was saying, no, you have a forward pressure fighter is going to beat a technician most of the time, and a power puncher is going to beat a forward pressure fighter. So you got Pereira, why he would lose. Or do you think it was a matter of, did Strickland look good or did Adesanya look bad? Sean, what do you think?
I think it was both. I think he fought the fight of his life with nothing to lose, went out there with, no, there's something to say for Don probably never felt like he was going to lose when he fought, but there were several times when I went in and thought, dude, if I win, it's just a bonus, at this point. You know what I mean? Like everybody expects me to lose. But yeah, when you take that pressure off when you're expected to lose, that's how I prefer to fight. With nothing to lose and everything to lose, it can be a bad combination when you're the other guy, man, with everything to lose. So.
Yeah, it's like when I was in Guantanamo Bay and I was doing comedy for the military, and we were there with the Victoria's Secret supermodels, right? Like Adriana Lima, and we were on like basically a raft, not a raft. It was like a ferry going over there. And I was like, I'm hitting on all of them. Cause like, oh, wow, I got turned down by a Victoria's Secret supermodel. Like that's
I didn't know rafts went both ways from Cuba. That's weird. So they come here and they got to send them back, I guess. They send comedians and Victoria's Secret models back on the same bamboo raft that came here.
By the way,
yes. Good looking women and this guy. Yeah.
Now that it's summer, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for sunny, active days. I know I am, okay? And Factor, which is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. Not number 2, #1. It can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious ready-to-eat meals delivered right to your door. You'll save time, you'll eat well, and you'll stay on track reaching your goals, okay? Are you too busy with summer plans to cook? I am. It takes me forever to cook, and I ruin the meals. But I want to make sure that I'm eating well, and so should you. Well, with Factor, skip the trip to the grocery store and skip the chopping and the prepping and the cleaning, okay? While still getting the flavor and the nutritional quality you need. The Factor is fresh, never frozen. Ew. Their meals are ready in just 2 minutes. That's right, 2 minutes. Although when I do stuff in 2 minutes, my wife complains, okay? But not with Factor. All you got to do is heat and enjoy, and then get back outside and soak up this warm weather. Vitamin D, all right? Looking for calorie-conscious options this summer? You can try the delicious, dietitian-approved, calorie-smart meals with around or less than 550 calories per serving. That's nothing. You burn that off, I don't know, jogging, all right? You need an extra boost to support your wellness goals this summer? I do. We'll try the Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein. Hell yeah. Get rough. Look at these guns, people. All right? So check it out. Check out Factor. Head to factormeals.com/roasted50 and use code roasted50 and get 50% off your first box. That's half off your first box. That's code roasted50 at factormeals.com/roasted50 to get 50% off your first box. All right. Check it out. You're going to thank me later. I got this cute dog. She's teething right now. But she's adorable. All right. No more biting. You got to get some chew toys. So thank you guys so much. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and check out Factor right now. By the way,
what a trade. What a fucking trade, huh?
By the way, last time I told you I was going to tell you that time that I fought the comic, and I fought 2 comics in my life, but one of them I fought in Africa. So quick story before we get back into fighting. So I got booked in this tour in Djibouti, Africa. It was Djibouti, Africa, Korea, I think somewhere else. It was like a last minute tour. It wasn't one of the Armed Forces Entertainment. This was like someone just booked us, right, to do the military tour. So like they didn't even tell us about getting any shots or anything, right? So we go over there, and I'm with this comic. It was like a last minute replacement called Little Bro. And the whole time this guy is giving me shit, like saying it, like all I said was Eddie Murphy movies weren't as funny as they used to be, right? Which I still think that's true. Adam Sandler movies, Jim Carrey. How dare you make fun of Eddie Murphy? He's a fucking legend. You don't know. And this guy's just giving me shit the whole time. And then every time we go to a base, he would tell the guys, this guy's gay, that I'm gay. Like that was his joke. Adam likes men. Dude, I was after like the 9th base, I'm like, okay, enough of this, right? So we go down to like these like massage parlors in Bahrain to get a massage. And it was all, for some reason, it was all transgenders that were getting massages.
I didn't assume either of those were legal in Bahrain.
I knew.
So the guy runs out and locks me in. And then I just lapped after him, but he was like, okay, haha, you got me. So then I went back to get away from him. He's like, you're going to get with the transgenders. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm doing. Just leave me alone, right? So
how was the massage, though?
It was amazing. Happy ending. Really, really good grip, because you can
I was going to say, they know the equipment, so.
Dude, it was the best. It was like 2 strokes splash, right? So then what happened was we go to Africa, and they tell us, don't carry money in Africa. They're going to shake you down, which they did, right? So they told us we had to give him $100 to get in Djibouti, Africa. He lost his luggage, right? So then so I had to pay for him to get there. We get there to the military base, and the first night was a meet and greet. Everyone's getting drunk with like I had a couple drinks with the troops, and right away he starts saying, Adam got a massage from these transgenders, and Adam's gay, and I had enough, dude. I had enough. I was fucking tired. This guy, and he was terrible on stage. He was only doing like 15 minutes, so I was covering his. We were supposed to do an hour, 45 each. So I was covering 30 of his minutes. And he was going up there being like, George Bush is a fucking terrorist. And Bush was our president at the time. So that was their, chief of command. So I had enough. So I like take it. He's like, yeah, Adam's gay. So I take his hat and I'm like, and I pull it over. He had like a wool hat. I pulled it over his head. I'm like, who's gay now, bitch? Right. So then he charged me. So I underhooked him and overhooked him, stepped through and threw him on his head like a complete hip toss, right? And then I cocked my hand back like, what's up, motherfucker? And then the troops, this is in front of like 50 troops. They're like, 3 of them like tackle us. They're like, what are you? So then they're like, what are you doing? So the sergeant, his name is Sergeant Haggerty, takes us into a bathroom. And he's like, man, you guys need to find Jesus. You came here to lift our spirits. And now you're fighting each other. He's like, I'm going to treat you like I treat my boys. I'm either going to take your money or I'm going to punch you in the stomach. Right. So at that time,
that's not the rule. I don't think that's the military code, but maybe his own personal code.
So at the time, we had no money because we gave it all to the African people who shook us down. So I was like, punch us in the stomach. So the guy punches both in the stomach, right? And then the other guy goes, I deserve that. Like, I had that coming. So then the rest of the tour, he didn't fuck with me. He didn't talk to me. But then they told on us because the guy's like, I'll keep this between you guys and I won't tell the booker. And then they docked us like $200 in the tour. So I got like $400 total. It was a fucking, yeah. So that was my African.
So you got a fist in Djibouti, huh? I don't know.
That was perfect. That was fucking perfect. That was perfect. Yeah, dude, that was crazy. But I'm wide. Did you ever take your kid with you on the road with you, Don, when you were when you were training overseas or fighting overseas?
No, I took them or they came to visit me when I was making the movie Godzilla. They came over there. The studio brought them over. And I think I took him to one fight, and then one fight. You're right.
Oh, by the way, how was the Godzilla Comic-Con that you did?
Oh, it was good. Had a lot of fun. Man. We were busy the whole time.
Awesome.
Didn't get a chance to sit down, man. Shit.
I mean, what were the people like?
They were great people, man. They just a lot of them weren't looking in the eye. They just introverted, but they were very good, decent people. And they're really polite, and they're extremely polite people, and I enjoyed it.
Were there any hot chicks there or no?
Yeah, a couple. Yeah.
That's awesome. Where
was there a Godzilla at Comic-Con? Where was that at?
Shit, I think that was in Chicago we were at.
Wait, the people were polite in Chicago? That doesn't seem possible.
They wouldn't.
Yeah. Maybe it was in South Carolina. Must be South Carolina.
So I took my kid to Texas with me. I did shows in Texas. And my dad came. It was his 77th birthday. My dad said he didn't think he would live to 30. Like he was, because, when he was managing Alice Cooper and the stories, my dad went to jail for selling acid. Frank Zappa bailed him out back in the day. And, just the stories he has. I told you, Sean, how the first time he managed Alice, they couldn't get booked anywhere. Like they were like, no one would come to any of their shows. They would walk free concerts. They were so bad. So they were playing a chicken farm. There were all these chickens on stage. And then Alice took the chicken and just threw it into the crowd, like halfway through his set, because they were like, Bugger. So then the chicken, he thought chickens could fly. Chicken got tore up, right?
So you're a chicken fucker?
Yeah. So then my dad gets a call from Frank Zappa like that night going, I got PETA on the line. You guys are killing chickens. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And my dad's like, sorry, that won't happen again. And he's like, are you guys kidding? That's the most press you guys have gotten. You better keep that shit up. Did I ever tell you the snake story? The snake through the toilet?
No.
Okay.
That sounds amazing though.
So they used to carry this like python with them. This huge a python. Is it a boa? A python.
Right? Jake the Snake was a member of the band. It's interesting.
The snake had a python, right?
No, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
What did Jake the Snake have? Did he have? What was Dave?
Yeah, he had either a boa or a python. I think python, right?
So they
I think Randy Savage got bit by a cobra. I'm pretty sure during that.
Yeah. So they used to keep it when Alice was on tour. They would keep it in like the bathroom in the bathtub of whatever hotel they were in. Well, they were late for a flight, and all of a sudden they realized their snake was missing. So they didn't want to tell anyone at the hotel, hey, by the way, there's a python missing in your hotel. So they just left. They're like, we gotta go.
That's the responsible thing to do.
So then, like 3 weeks later, they're watching the television, and there was a country singer named Charlie Pride, a black country singer, who was taking a shit. And when he went to wipe his ass, the snake came up, like through the toilet seat, like, and
that's your worst nightmare, man. That would be, especially with being a black guy, because they're so afraid of any animal. You know what I mean? Like that had to be like the worst possible scenario for him.
Either that, you're like, what did I eat? You know. So then he actually has a song called "The Snakes Come Out at Night" or something, or "The Snakes Crawl at Night," about that incident. So because they were watching the TV and it came on the Associated Press, they're like, that's our snake. And it was at the hotel. It got to the pipe.
That's amazing.
So I took my kid with me to Dallas, and man, Daddy, let's go here. So I took her to Crayola World, where she could make her own crayon, and that was fun. But then we went to Kid Mania, and she has this new thing now. She's 5, and I don't know if she's really scared or she says she's scared of heights. Where you know how they have those like things you can crawl, but then it's like netted below you.
Yeah.
She gets up there, and then she starts crying, and she goes, "Daddy, Daddy, Dad." So then I got to climb up there every time. So now I'm up there.
Then you start crying, and who's going to get you, right?
Dude, I go up there to get her down, and then like 3 kids started crying around me. So now I got to help all the kids down because so now I'm like fucking just launching kids down the slide. I'm like hoping like their parents are nowhere to be seen. Dude, that was yeah.
Did you take her to see Daily Plaza where JFK got shot? That's interesting to see.
I'm not even kidding. It was like things to do with kids. Because wherever I go someplace, I'm like, fun things to do with kids. They're like, you could do a JFK assassination tour.
Right.
I'm like, why would I? Like, are you out of your fucking mind? I swear to God, I don't know. In LA, they had an Auschwitz museum. I'm like, why would I take a 5-year-old to an Auschwitz exhibit? And then in Vegas, I go, fun thing to do with a kid. They have a mob museum. Like, I'm going to teach her about Jimmy Hoffa. Like
all the things kids are interested in. We went. Me and my fiance at the time went to Dallas, and we went down to see where he got shot and all that. We were going to solve the case after 50 years, but that's why there was a bunch of amateur detectives down there solving the case. I think it came from behind the fence on the grassy knoll, like this and that. But there was some guy. It doesn't matter that he was African American, but he was. And he was like, yeah, I'm kind of like an unofficial tour guide down here. Know what I'm saying? And I didn't really know what he was saying, but he was like showing us around and kept following us around. And then he waits till the end of his unofficial tour that I never asked for to tell me he works on tips.
Oh,
or whatever. But he was like, yeah, what it was is now, you know what I'm saying? Like there's it was behind the fence. There was a second gun. And, like he was like showing me where he shot from and all that. I was like, dang, that guy came here and did solve the case and then became an
Hey, you know what? That's cool, man. You could make your own job. I think that's better. That's better than doing something else you could be doing, or anyone else.
I feel like I would have tipped him higher if I would have known what he was saying, but I didn't actually know what he was saying most of the time. So it was like if he would have enunciated.
Oh man, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he's rhyming. He's rhyming a bit.
I have no idea. So
Jesse Jackson.
So Sean Strickland has already broke his belt. You hear what happened? He took his belt home and he broke it, and then he duct taped it together. and then posted the picture of him duct taping the belt.
You see how the press conference ended with him, the post-fight press conference there? He was saying offensive thing after offensive thing. In the UFC, you can tell the PR guy's sweating it, and he's trying to end the press conference like, anything else? And then he said, how much is this belt? I want to sell this belt, like Sean Strickland said. And they said a replica goes for $1,800. And he goes, $1,800 for this? He goes, that doesn't make you feel like a cheap whore. What does? And the PR guy was like, okay, that's it. Like the PR guy said, thanks, guys. Like, shut off right there. It was the perfect ending to the night.
So they had a couple other fights. They had Tai Tuivasa fight, Donna, and he's whenever they have a guy where they announce him as his background is street fighter, he always loses. So of course he was a street fighter, and Ty's been winning, but he's kind of like a Mark Hunt, where if he doesn't
is he the shoe guy?
Yeah. And like if he doesn't catch you, you could out technique him. And that's exactly what happened with the guy he fought, the Russian guy he fought, Volkov. He just was better at technique. He had better fundamentals, and he didn't get caught. Hunt was kind of like that too, right, Sean?
Yeah, he was just a really good striker. I think the difference, I think Tuivasa is just a slugger, but Hunt actually had a lot more technique involved in his.
Yeah, Hunt had it all. Hunt had power and technique. Yeah.
Right.
Great footwork. Yeah. I mean, he had it all, man.
I couldn't believe when I was fighting him, the short time I did, how fast he was moving. How fast he could close the distance when he came in to punch me. I was like, holy shit, this dude can move, man.
So you think Hunt's better than Tuivasa?
Oh, way better. Yeah.
Oh, fuck yes. Yes, absolutely.
So Tuivasa lost. He actually lost by Ezekiel choke, so now they have this new commentary team, which Laura Sanko, DC, and John Anik. And here's, I think, the issue that I have with it. They're doing a great job, technically. They're saying everything. I mean, there's nothing where you're like, oh. But I think because Laura Sanko is so under the microscope, she's trying to not be annoying. And she even says, she's like, no one wants to hear a woman shriek during fights. And you know what?
Good.
She's got a point.
She knows her. She knows it. Yeah, good.
Now, if John Anik could just learn the same thing, we'd be set.
Yeah.
Well, the issue that I have is that there's nobody getting excited about the fights. Like, at least with like Rogan, and you see him, his head's about to fucking pop, and he's like, like, I'm sure a little bit's put on, but he's really excited. And now
what happened to Rogan? Did they fire him or what?
I don't know. No, I don't know what happened, because he did like a fight companion with Schaub and Cal.
Yeah, I think he said he only contracts to like 10 events a year, and he only does the real. He don't want to go anywhere but Vegas. Really, he said he's tired of traveling. So he's like,
he's smart. Fuck, man. They do those things for like 6 hours long. 8 hours long. The whole thing.
He makes more from the views on YouTube on a podcast than UFC pays him anyway. So he said he'd rather just do that at his studio.
But my issue isn't with Laura Sanko. I think she's fine, but I felt like she does the Contender, right? I felt like she was at the Contender, where it was that kind of that energy of just saying what's happening. And on a pay-per-view, you got to have somebody who's excited. And Anik's not going to get excited. And Cormier kind of feeds off someone else's energy. I don't know, because Dominic Cruz, even I think Felder, these guys are all good. But they don't have that like fan perspective that Rogan kind of brings to it.
They need another guy too, like maybe an ex-fighter that's really funny, like Don Fry or Brendan Schaub, like one like that.
Don Fry would be perfect. Don Fry would be the best.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that.
They're in the same thing in my mind. When I think funny ex-fighters, I think Schaub.
Yeah, thank you very much. If you were a fighter, you'd be there.
I watched like 9 seconds of an interview. I watched 9 seconds of an interview with Brendan Schaub. I was like scrolling through my TikTok or something, and he came up and they asked him if he thinks he could beat Brock Lesnar, and he started with, well, I'd like to think that I could beat him, and then I just swiped at the butt. But I guess everyone should say that if you're a professional, and that's probably what makes him as successful as he is that he has this belief in himself.
His self-belief does do something, yeah.
That nobody else seems to have. But I don't see a planet.
Nobody believe that. Yeah, nobody believe that.
They asked me, Ariel Helwani asked me before I fought Stephen Struve. He said, "You're the co-main event. What's next for you if you win this one?" And I said, "Gosh, I sure hope not Cain Velasquez or Brock Lesnar." Like that was my honest answer, or whatever. Like I'm thinking, like he said, "You got to be the main event next time." I was like, "Give me Well, never mind. I was going to bring up a guy that's dead now, so never mind. But, yeah.
Brock Lesnar pre-stomach AIDS or whatever he had. What was it? Diverticulitis, something?
It was actually, I was told from injecting insulin after his workouts to get more of a pump, more of a, muscle building thing. And then he became insulin dependent and called it diverticulitis to hide it. But that's what I heard.
Whatever that was, killed his career because he came back and he was not the same guy, even against a Carwin, where he got the shipping at him by Shane Carwin and they came back and won in the second round. I wonder how good he would have been had that not happened.
If he wasn't so terrified of getting hit, he'd have been way better. But as soon as like you're fighting Randy Couture, it's like easier to not worry about getting hit. But if you're fighting, like JDS or Overeem or a guy like that, like I knew he was going to pull out that JDS fight, and I was like, he ain't going to fight Junior Dos Santos. He's so scared of getting hit, man. And first time Kane connected with him, he turned and ran, did a cartwheel, and like running.
But that was after. I mean, so.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What the fuck does diverticulitis have to do with getting punched in the face? Guy did not like to get punched in the fucking face, and it's a fucking fight. That's the main thing of being. So
Don, you show up. You're in Arizona. Mark Kerr is with Brock Lesnar in the wrestling room. Was it a wrestling room?
Yeah, they come down on my wrestling room. Yeah, they came down on my wrestling room.
And you're watching. Yeah, go on.
Because Brad Reagan's broke me into pro wrestling. And he's like a second cousin of Brock's. So Brock was supposed to come down, so we could check him out. And he came down and brought Kerr with him.
Mistake. So you're watching Kerr train with him.
No. Kerr sat on the side of the fucking wall. And tried interrupting me and my judo sensei and another guy, when we're showing Brock some moves, and Kerr starts fucking interrupting and saying, no, do this and this. And it's like, there's more knowledge. Steve Owens, my judo sensei, got more knowledge in his fucking pinky than Kerr had in his whole fucking body,
So what were you guys trying to show Brock, though?
Fuck, I don't know. That was fucking years ago, man. Jeez.
But I mean, he had a double. Was it mostly striking stuff, or was it like takedowns or other kind of takedowns, or was it submissions?
Probably some submissions.
Yeah.
He's a takedown machine. He can take down a fucking grizzly bear. Jeez.
So we're here with Jared Brooks, the monkey god, who you're here with Sean McCorkle and Don Fry. Don is telling us it's about the time when they brought down Brock Lesnar to train with Don Fry, and then Mark Kerr cockblocked him. And basically told him, hey, man, no, this is not how you do it. And then Mark Kerr and Don were about to fight in the wrestling room, right?
No, it never came to that. Are you fucking? No, it's not like in fucking Africa with a fucking bad comic, Jesus.
Oh yeah, with me. Oh, yeah, you missed the story about the Africa. What's up, people? Listen, today we're here with a sponsor for your bouncing bundle of joy. No, I'm not talking about a baby, although that's adorable. We're talking about your baby makers. Boom. That's right. Today's show is brought to you by MANSCAPED. But just like babies, your delicate little guys have sensible skin. Trust me. And they deserve products not only skin safe, but also with safe ingredients. That's where Manscaped's Platinum package comes in. From razors to shower care, this package goes above the gold standard for your body hair. So treat your beautiful boys to the world's finest toys at manscaped.com and use the code MMA Roasted for 20% off plus free shipping. Listen, Manscaped, I used to have the hairiest nuts. It was rough. I mean, girls would go down there, they would choke. Okay. I one time I had to go to the hospital. It was just nothing worse than, in the middle of a BJ, having a girl having to like go up and go and start ripping out hair. It's not good. It's bad. It happens to the best of us. Okay. Some of you friends might be Armenian or Italian or just hairier people. All right. Maybe not. But the Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0 is a one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all. And that's you. Okay. They designed this package to allow you to fully align your entire hygiene routine with elite products. We're all about elite. Okay. The Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer and weed whacker nose and ear hair trimmer feature proprietary advanced skin safe technology to protect your delicate parts and holes. Both are waterproof. You can shave with less mess. Trust me, you don't want nose hairs and ear hairs. It's not good. Okay. You want to get laid. You want to have fun. You want to relax. Check it out. Go to the Platinum Package 4.0. They cover all bases from head to toe and hair to ball fro. Get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code MMA Roasted at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code MMA Roasted. Use the Platinum Package because the gold standard is no longer good enough. So check it out and enjoy everything. Anyway, so we're here with Jared Brooks, who is one of the best in the world. This guy, Don, talk about getting a raw deal. What's your record? Like 18-2, 25-2?
I'm 20-2 now.
20-2. And who are your two losses to?
My losses were to Davis and Figueiredo, which was pretty questionable, and my other loss was me. I knocked myself out.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, right. He knocked himself out. And how did you on like it was a double or?
I had him in a bridle carry over my shoulder, you know, like a split hog, and I tried to do a backflip with him, try to be too flashy, man, and hit the back of my head and my hip at the same time. What's up, Sean? It's good to see you.
What's up, buddy? Yeah.
Long time no see. And Don Fry, you're a motherfucking legend, dude. Like, holy shit, Don Fry's on this motherfucker. I did not know that, dude. Don, you are a motherfucking legend, and you are an American hero, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you have one loss to Figueiredo, and the UFC doesn't re-sign him for some reason. I guess it was like at the time when they were not going to bring back the 125, and he wasn't sure. So he goes to one championship, and he just beats everyone up there. So now he's the champ. You're the champ, right?
Yes, sir.
He's the champ, but you haven't fought in 9 months.
9 fucking months.
Why?
Man, you got to ask one championship that question. But at the same time, I understand where one championship is coming from because I knocked the whole division out, the top 5, in less than a year. So they got to rebuild, restructure. And I don't know if they want an American champion, but
are they paying you? Are they paying you to sit aside? Okay, then that's fine. Okay,
yeah,
good.
One championship pays their fighters, or their champions for sure.
All right.
My contract is really, really good, but I really want to get, fights going and going against the best of the best. And Demetrius Johnson is not fucking safe. Like, I know that he's thinking about retirement right now, but I'm the fight to make. I'm somebody that he could really make money with, and we could actually put on a show inside and outside of the arena. And I think that he doesn't realize that he's always needed a heel, man. He's always needed somebody to come out and bring his fans out and be like, who the fuck is this little motherfucker talking to the GOAT? You know what I'm saying? So I think that I could really bring that light on to Demetrius Johnson at the end of his career. And if I beat Demetrius Johnson, I gain a shit ton more fans. And Demetrius, he can end his career on a title fight that makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense to me. It's kind of a shame because I love watching you fight. And now you're taking jiu-jitsu matches against prodigies. He had a jiu-jitsu match against this kid, Sean. He looks like a kid that you see at band camp. He looks like one of the guys at the Godzilla Comic-Con that Don was at. And
hey, they were dressed better.
Yeah,
they were dressed better, man.
He's the most dangerous jiu-jitsu guy. Who is this guy? And what's going on with that guy? What's his name?
Mikey Musumeci. Mikey Musumeci is the pound for pound GOAT in jiu-jitsu right now. Even though the dude starts on his ass, I mean, all jiu-jitsu goes to the ground. So he's just like, let's stop playing around. We're gonna go to the ground. He scoots towards you. He is a world class grappler, man. Like going against him, I mean, I nullify a lot of, and I remember telling you on this podcast back then, you were like, you guys, you can't defend black belts. You can't, you can't fuck with these black belts. You know what I'm saying? But I really am. I am going against some of the best black belts in the world, and I am mostly nullifying what they have in their back pocket, and that's jiu-jitsu. I nullify jiu-jitsu, and I beat the shit out of you. And unluckily for me, I went into that match. I got taught a lot of jiu-jitsu in 3 weeks, and it was really good to get in that style form down. But I just went into fight mode whenever I went against Mikey, and I just tried to nullify his jiu-jitsu. And I was thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, dude, no, you can't punch. You gotta go back.
Oh,
and
right.
Do the regular jiu-jitsu shit. And that motherfucker's legs are like spiders, bro. Like he gets attached to you. It's not his upper body. His upper body, when you nullify his upper body, you're good. But his legs, man, they're just so.
You were also a 4-time state champ, right?
No, I was that's how hard Indiana is. I was a 1-time state champion. I was ranked number 1 in the nation my senior year, but those 3 years that I got beat, I had the rank number 2, rank number 3, rank number 4, rank number 5, top 5 guys in the nation, all in my weight class. And I'm just like, I'm unlucky. I've had a rough fucking draw, but at the same time, I come back, I stay standing, and it doesn't matter what life brings onto you. You just got to keep on fucking trucking.
Now, Sean booked you for his pillow fight promotion. Is this what happened?
No, he was no. Jared came in my second event after I got told they weren't going to sanction any more pillow fighting and ridiculous sideshows like intermissions where I have girls attacking a guy fighter when he doesn't know. So no, yeah, Jared came in. His manager is Chaz Bowling, who I've known for years. But Chaz told me, he said, I got a kid nobody will fight. He said he'll fight all the way up to like 155 if they'll allow it. He said he'll kill whoever he fights. And I was like, yeah, Chaz, because this is like 2015 or 16. So I thought Chaz was full of it because every guy Chaz has is a world beater, whatever you talk to him. And then I saw Jared fight. I'll be damned if he wasn't right. Like he went straight through. I don't remember who you fought, but the guy wasn't terrible, but it wasn't even a fight. Like it was like Jared just won as soon as he felt like winning, or whatever. So it was just like, I was like, dang, that kid really can fight. The only argument was where his gloves approved or not. The commission said he's got his own gloves. Can he wear them? I said, I don't know. Ask Tom Erickson. Like I was paying Tom to help out, so I wanted him to have something to do. I said, go back and clear with Tom Erickson. I didn't know what to say.
Now, was this one of the places that you made no money on this promotion to this one? Was that one of the ones that you got screwed?
Yeah, I made plenty of money, just the government took it all. So they estimate how many tickets you sell, they estimate how much you sold them for, then they charge you an estimated tax, just to be sure you don't make any money. It's like there hasn't been an MMA show in Indiana that I know of more than 1 or 2 of the past 5 years, man, because you can't make any money. Not pro fights. They take a percentage of everything. They make you have 3 refs there at $500 a pop. They make you have 4 judges. They make you have like extra everything. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. Same thing in Arizona. Yeah.
That's crazy. Now, did you guys did you watch the fights last week?
Oh yeah.
Well, now, what did you think of Sean Strickland versus Israel?
Man, Sean Strickland is a god, bro. That guy's fucking awesome. I love Sean Strickland. I love his attitude towards being a champion and, trying to bring fucking men back. I love that. But besides that, the fight was great. I think that Sean is being stomped on from his style. Stylistically, he beats Adesanya, and I picked Sean Strickland for that fight. I thought that he is better than Adesanya at his own game because his blocking style, he nullifies things very, very well on the feet, and he used that defensively to go offense when he's pressing forward. So yeah, Sean Strickland's a fucking beast.
Now, it looks like his head doesn't move, but he made Israel miss almost all his punches. How does it, Jared, how does that happen?
He's using usually just these portions to block. He's not using his hands. So when he's here, he's usually hitting here, and he spars so much, he's probably just got that down to where, the style might not work for your average fighter, but somebody that does hours and hours and hours of that, he's a good fighter, man. I'm not saying that he's going to be able to hold the belt for a really long time, but man, he was just a really good matchup for Adesanya.
Wow. Yeah, and then what they do in Australia, the UFC, Don, because Don didn't see it, is they put these guys from Australia, these heavyweight knockout artists, against guys that have been knocked out 3 times in a row. So so then that way, at least the fans get their money worth. Because Tyson Pedro fought this guy whose nickname was the Pleasure Man. He came out there, he says he's the Pleasure Man, and that wasn't even close. It wasn't even.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was not pleasurable.
No. And then the other guy, Tafa, just murdered the guy he fought. And you look at the guy who he fought, who got knocked out by Greg Hardy. He got knocked out 2 out of his last 3. I mean, they're doing this on purpose, right?
I would say, mostly for fan viewership. You got 2 of the best. They might have a boring fight, and I don't think the UFC wants to put the chips on the table like that. They'd rather get that easy money while they're trying to build somebody up, so it's a win-win for them. So, and they're fighting in a country like Australia, and Australia loves to see the Aussies win, or people that are from around that area win, spectacularly. So, yeah, I can see what the UFC is doing, but I think that it's smart if you're trying to look for common viewership instead of your average fan that really knows what's going on. But you're looking to fill seats no matter what, and I think that's the best way, is just to have those common fans coming in, drinking beer, going fucking crazy over a fight.
Dude, the funniest was when so this one guy fights this guy Blood Diamond, right? Who I don't even know why he's 3-2 in the UFC. Supposedly he's this amazing kickboxer, but he was getting out like kickboxed by a guy who looked like he was a wrestler, the guy from Philly, right? And then afterwards, the crowd's booing Don, and this guy, he goes, "Oh, you," and then he says the F word, right? He goes, "Why don't you come on down there and say it to my face? I'll fuck all of you up." Right? So, dude, it was crazy.
Stealing Don's lines.
Dude, he challenged the whole crowd to a fight. And nobody took him up on it.
That's a nice gun right there, Don.
Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here we go.
What's that?
So
nice gun right there.
Yeah, and double barrel. Yeah, just pick this thing up.
Don, why do you have it?
I just picked it up a week ago, I think.
Dude, I went to his house. He has a militia at his house. He probably has about 700 guns. He has 5 guns under each pillow. Like, I'm like,
thanks. There goes my security,
Then he has like all the stuff he got from Native Americans that he got from like the war, from like taking over the land back in dude,
your house looks like Teddy Roosevelt's house, bro.
That's right.
All right, so here we go. So this is the guy's post-fight speech. Here we go.
I'm here with Charles Radke. Charles, how good is good? UFC victory. It felt great. And so fuck all you faggots up in the fucking crowd. Come down here and get some pussy ass bitch. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Charles Radke.
DC looks like that girl in Charlie Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or she eats that fucking piece of gum.
Dude,
Charlie Wonka's Willy Wonka's less famous brother.
Wonka. Dude, that was crazy. And then I like how he says, "Give it up." Like after he challenges everyone in the fight in the crowd to a fight, calls them all like whatever. He then says, "Give it up." like that's really gonna be like anyone's gonna give it up for him.
Encouraging, yeah, that's encouraging. Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then that happened twice. That happened again. Well, the guy just basically told Kai Kara France to stand up and went off on his whole thing and blah 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 blah.
All his teammates were fags.
Yeah. It was crazy. Here we go. So here we go. This is the other fight speech.
No one gonna do anything. You know why? All your teammates is a bunch of faggots.
Okay, here we go.
No one gonna do anything. You know why? All your teammates is a bunch of faggots.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's laughable.
Isn't it amazing that you can't tell the difference between him talking and Amanda Nunes? That could have very easily been Amanda Nunes saying that.
My
It's
God.
exactly the same.
I mean, this is like.
God dang it.
Hey, on the other hand, I think that Manel Cape fucking sucks. I think that he's a 2-round fighter. He always fades in the third. He tries to knock somebody out in the first 2 rounds, but somebody like me, I think that I could take him out with ease.
Are you thinking about going back to the UFC?
No, I'm looking, dude. I'm getting paid too much. I get paid probably more than Pantoja. So why do that? And they're trying to bring in guys that are better than half of the UFC roster. They're bringing in some Dagestani guys. Don't get me wrong. I know that Muhammad, I don't know his fucking last name, but they got him on the cups. He's a young kid. Hopefully he wins a UFC title before 23. I'm kind of pulling for him for that.
Right.
But I don't see the flyweight division being too great, man. You got the original Ultimate Fighter fucking cast from the flyweight division when they went against Demetrius, and Tim Elliott won that. So it's like, it's a little watered down to me. You got guys that are good stand-up artists, but they're not good all the way around.
Were you surprised about the O'Malley versus Aljamain fight?
No, Aljamain, he has that deer in the headlights look sometimes when he's fighting, and I can tell when that happens. So I think that O'Malley, he's just great at timing, and yeah, I thought O'Malley was going to win that matchup. Just be honest, I think that you can get into Aljamain Sterling's head pretty easily as well. The way that Aljamain's antics were before the fight, I can just study that and see, like the John Jones and Gustafsson fight, the first fight. I knew that John was a little bit off of his game when they were even facing off. So it's like, I can see that shit from a mile away if a fighter is off of his game.
Don, you were there, right, Don, in Boston?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
What was that experience like?
It was good. It was a lot of fun. We sat right behind O'Malley's mom and sister or girlfriend. I don't know what she was, but
goddamn,
the mother was one of the old timers.
Yeah. I mean, who should Aljamain fight next? What do you think?
I think.
I mean, who should Aljamain? I mean, who should O'Malley fight next?
I just say, who gives a shit about Aljamain? You don't want the belt.
I mean, Jared, who should O'Malley fight next?
I think O'Malley should fight either Cheeto or Merab. I love Cheeto Vera. I fought on a couple of cards with him. I personally like him the most out of the bantamweight division. So, or you have Umar Nurmagomedov. Umar's a fucking animal. I remember seeing him like 2016 when I was training for the McCall fight. Always been good. And then you got Merab, of course. Merab is like he's just a fucking train, but I think that his train can be stopped. I don't see cold-blooded killer heart like, out of both of those guys. I see that they have an attacking personality, and they, when they get pressure put onto them, or, when they're off of their game, they can get beat very easily, in my personal opinion.
Now, Sean, you took it kind of personally when O'Malley won. You tweeted out that he could never rob you or rob your house because he's 5'2" and 135 pounds or something. Like, why did you feel to have to say that?
I lost a bunch of money when him and Peter Yan fought. And I felt like when you bet a bunch of money on somebody, you tend to think they won, even if they didn't, I'm not really positive if we won or not, but I was so mad still about losing the amount. Like I was telling everybody, there's no way he beats Peter Yan. Peter Yan's the best 135 I've ever seen, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, he got the decision over him. And that, I'm not a big O'Malley fan. So it's so it tends to I don't know. I try to always put a negative spin on anything anyone accomplishes.
Well, it's just so random. I was like, you're like, imagine a guy who's a UFC champion, but he comes to your house to rob you, and he's 135 pounds. I'm like, Sean, this is a very specific tweet. I was like,
I'm just holding a grudge about the money that he cost me when he fought Peter Yan. He should have just taken the loss and let me win my parlay that was like a 40. the last fight on my parlay to win. And
Oh no!
I think if Sean O'Malley and Israel Adesanya, if they didn't act so fucking feminine with the way that they come across, like,
yeah,
I think that people would like them. They come in with feminine ass personalities, and that's what the average American likes nowadays. They're all fucking pussies. So it's like, oh, this fucking pussy is beating everybody's ass, or he's putting on that persona that he's a pussy, which might actually be, you know, an advantage towards Sean O'Malley and Israel Adesanya, because these guys think that they're sweet, right? But at the end of the day, they do beat motherfuckers' asses, and they do good job of it and viewership. But I think that's one of the reasons why they're so big right now. And you know, we need more Alex Pierres and Sean Stricklands out in the fighting world to be good examples for grown ass men.
I don't know. I mean, I hear you, but nobody's more feminine than the other guy who's the monkey. What's his name? The monkey, the guy who does like.
Oh God, yeah, the Monkey King.
The Monkey King. You're the Monkey God. The Monkey King's the guy that twerks and does splits.
Man, I met him in Vegas, and he's super cool.
Yes, yeah, seems like a nice guy, but oh my God,
you know, he kind of sounds like he's about to, like, you know, come up with a Harvard exam. Like, I'm studying the Harvard exam today while I'm fucking twerking and fighting.
I mean, the twerking was like next level. I mean, the twerking was next level. But now guys are just, I mean, look, what's his name that could beat everyone's ass? And he's came out and said he's bisexual. And there was a video that came out of him sucking a guy's cock or something, or getting his, fucking Jeff Molina, right? Jeff
fucking Molina.
But what happened? Because I don't understand. He was like so Don, this guy's like number 2 or 3 in the world. He's knocking everyone out, looking great. Somehow he's associated with James Krause, but no one knows how. So they just suspend.
I have a feeling how they know each other.
So
gambling circuits.
So they just suspend him, but it doesn't even. No evidence came out. Like, he's just suspended, right? The guy just gets suspended, but no one knows why, or like if he fixed a fight or what happened. Then 2 months later, a video comes out of him getting his dick sucked, or he's sucking a dick. I don't know. Somebody, I didn't.
Well, maybe he's sucking too much. He's sucking the wrong dick or something. You know, jeez.
So then he posts, like, listen, I've always been bisexual, but I didn't want to make anyone feel insecure, and I'm on the wrestling team, and this and that, and I love frat boy humor, and everyone's like, we're so proud of you, so proud of you. And then in comes Sean Strickland, who's like, I'm not proud of you for sucking dick. Who gives a fuck? Like, so like, fucking like, yeah. But this guy, but he's still suspended. This guy, do you know?
He's drinking too much Bud Light, you know? Shit.
I don't think that's why you get suspended from the UFC. Brooks, do you know anything about like what's going on?
I have no idea. But when you suck one cock in your life, you're a cocksucker for life.
Maybe, right? But I think it's kind of cool that he's like, oh, fuck it, you know, representation.
No. I think that it's cool that he embraced it. Don't get me wrong. It's not like he's like turning himself into a girl or anything like that.
Right.
But
not right. I don't know. Go on.
He's a badass motherfucker. That's for sure.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. But
like,
I mean, make a big joke about
that fucking guy.
And now that they're with WWE, don't you think if he like teabags somebody, like he knocks him out and then teabags them in the octagon, like he would get a big pop? Like that could be his thing, you know? Like he goes out and like, no, all right.
It would excite Bruce Buffer, I bet you that.
Yeah,
you have at least one guy that's excited.
By the way,
him out of the cage.
By the way, Don, an interview came out last week of Dominic Cruz and Brendan Schaub talking about you. Did you see it?
No.
All right, so Dominic Cruz.
I meant to send it to you.
So Dominic Cruz says he was sparring. He had like 2 or 3 fights in his pro career, and in comes you. And this is Pride Don Fry. Went to your gym, Pride. You're just fucking ripped. You're huge. You're a god. He's in awe. This is the guy I want to be. You come over. You say, let's spar, right? So right away he's like, all right. He says you right away you pop 2 Vicodins. And you just chew 2 Vicodins to start your sparring, right? Then Then he said you chased him around the ring, and that you couldn't catch him because he was like 135 pounds. He was fast. He was punching you, but just running for his life. And eventually, you kicked him in the head, and you said you got to be ready for anything.
Yeah, they weren't kicking though; they were just boxing. So they had on shoes, and he said Don Fry just kicked me in the head with shoes. It's like you got to be ready for anything in this sport. I didn't believe it because I was sure Don would have cowboy boots on if he was throwing kicks to the head.
Yeah.
That's the story I didn't believe it.
Did you used to pop 2 Vicodin before you sparred and just chew them?
Yeah.
Did it not make you sick, Don? I could never. If I took anything when I hurt my back, I tried to take it like to train. I would try to take pain pills, and I would throw up within 30 seconds. Which normally I would gas out at 45 seconds, so I didn't really see the advantage. No, it wasn't really extended anyway. But no, they would make me throw up immediately if I tried to do that. So
no, I had been taking them for so long, you know. They were just like
So you all right? So you take 2 Vicodins for your spar, and then it doesn't hurt when people punch you in the face. Is that the thinking behind this?
No, my back was so fucked up, man. I could barely walk. I mean,
it's a lot of fun to train like that. I'll tell you what. When you got herniated disc and stuff in your back, it is hell. Like it is hell.
Yeah.
But Don, you're about 220, 230. Dominic's like 145 tops. Why did you want to spar with him?
I don't know. Hell, that shit. That's probably why I took the bike, so it slowed me down.
Grand slams, no-hitters, and double plays are back. That's right. And there's no better place to get on the MLB action than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook and official partner of Major League Baseball. And guess what, people? New customers in Massachusetts get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed, when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston. And finally, you can bet on all your favorite sports, from the money line to point spreads to player props and more. I love it, okay? If I'm going to bet, I'm going to go on FanDuel. So now, bet on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Don't miss your chance to get $200 of bonus bets. Win or lose. How great is that? Okay. Visit FanDuel.com/Boston and make every moment more. That's FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball. You got to be 21 and older and present in Massachusetts. Okay. Your first online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable, and bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Help is here. So is hope. Hope and help. GamblingHelpLineMA.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com or call 1-800-GAM-1234. That's FanDuel. Check it out now. Right now. You want to bet? That's where you go.
They really fucking ruin your reflexes and your coordination, you know, and everything. So it's just, they're horrible. They're fucking horrible for you. The only advantage is they kill the pain that you're suffering from, but besides that, they're fucking worthless.
So this week, for some reason, the UFC has Noche UFC. Did you hear about this?
I just heard about it today, and I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm so confused.
All right, they don't tell anybody about this, right? So I Googled. I'm like, what exactly is Noche UFC? So I saw it is to celebrate. It has become a great tradition in combat sports to hold big fights on September 16th. This year, we're honoring our UFC fans and fighters from Mexican communities with an inaugural Noche UFC. But they don't tell anyone about this. They just,
are there fights, or it's just what is it? I don't understand. Is it best of or something?
It's Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso too.
So 2 Mexican fighters.
It's yeah, right. I don't think Shevchenko's Mexican.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, we're celebrating Mexican heritage by having Karolinko versus Grasso's
from Mexico. She won the first one. She's the champion.
I thought she was Brazilian.
Isn't she from Mexico? Looks like she's from Mexico. But
it makes sense if she's fighting in Noche.
But she's lose. She's gonna lose. Like she's basically we're celebrating this by having her lose to the biggest upset she won. I mean, why not just have 2 Mexican fighters in the main event? That way, at least one of them wins, right? But
that
no,
makes so much sense. Yeah.
So she's fighting Shevchenko, and then in the co-main event, the Mexican fighter is Kevin Holland is fighting Jack Della Maddalena. So one guy's from England. And the other guy's Kevin Holland.
Right.
What's from Australia? Australia against Kevin Holland.
But close to Mexico in both cases.
But like, I don't know. I'm not really sure why they did this, or like why they didn't tell anyone. They just like changed the language without any. I mean, which I think is I'm all for this. They should, fuck it, do this with all the cultures, but just tell somebody, prepare people, let everyone know. And then Raul Rosas Jr. He's the guy that was like 11 when they signed him, but he's like a jiu-jitsu wizard. He got his ass kicked his last fight. Remember that? It was like, because I think he clearly is not ready to be, but he's fighting Terrence Mitchell. And then you know anything about Terrence Mitchell, Jared?
Yeah, Terrence Mitchell is a hard go too.
So who wins this fight?
Terrence Mitchell. They're gonna 0-2 this kid, man. It's gonna be bad.
And then who wins the Shevchenko Grasso fight?
After watching that first fight, I think that Grasso wins
again. Wow. All right.
I think that Grasso wins again. That little woman is a goer, bro. She goes. She does not stop. Her wrestling is pretty good, and her ground and pound is pretty good, and her boxing is pretty up there. So I would say, I mean, don't get me wrong, you got Shevchenko. She's an amazing kickboxer, and she has showed that, and her takedown defense and her takedowns are actually pretty good as well. But Grasso is the younger bull out of the group, and I think that Lexa will get it done.
And then Sean, who wins? Grasso.
Man, I don't watch women's fights unless I'm forced to, so I'll go with Jared.
I watch highlights.
Yeah, I'll go with Jared's opinion on that because I don't really watch women fight or keep up with it. I don't like to see women get hurt unless it's in a relationship. But I don't mean physically hurt. I'm just joking. But I did want to say Jared wasn't on there. I'm not sure I think Don was on the time we had Henry Cejudo on, right? We had an idea, Jared. It was awesome. Cejudo was trying to come up with new ring entrances that would be like, specific. He should be fighting at the Noche fight card. Yeah. But we came up with it. We said he should go to the cage, and instead of going to the door, he should run around to one of the sides and throw a bag up over the cage and then climb it and come back down to celebrate his Mexican heritage, or whatever. He loved it. He thought it was the greatest idea ever. And he promised us, the way I remembered is he promised he was going to do it on his next. He was going
to have a sombrero and like dance around it, like after he wins. Yeah. What do you think now, Brooks? Do you think that? I know Cejudo, meanwhile, Henry Cejudo, who I help him with his tweets a lot. If I ever retweet his tweets, it's usually ones that I've helped him with. Sometimes like 5 or 6 times a day, he's hitting me up. And I love him at that. I love the guy. I just, because if I don't help him, he'll say something that I'm like, he's going to get kicked out. I'm like, dude, take this down immediately. Like as a comic, you know the line, and you're like, bro, you can't just call people this. Take this. Like, I'll be like, bro. So, anyway, one time I had like a whole thing about Aljamain, and Aljo tweeted, very funny, Adam. I'm like, motherfucker, Aljamain. So I called Aljamain. I'm like, bro, you can't, I'm the magician. You can't take the curtain. Aljamain was dying laughing. And I go, Aljamain, please, for one day, give me your Twitter account. And I want to go back and forth as Henry and as you. Just that was he never did, but I was like, please do that. But he's a good sport. Also, Lupe Godinez is fighting. She it was the girl that
probably Lupe, but go ahead.
Is it Lupe?
I don't think it's Lupe.
Lupe. Yeah, after you get hit a few times, you're a little loopy.
She turns into Loopy after the first couple.
She's gotten way better. Tracy Cortez is fighting, who's the hottest chick in the history of the UFC. In person, she's the one that was dating Brian Ortega, and I guess Ortega said something like, he tweeted out like, people say that I fumbled the bag when I broke up, when I actually I blah, blah, blah. And then she tweeted like, I didn't go after you personally, blah, blah, blah. So then they started fighting. And then, it was so.
What's her name?
Her name is Tracy Cortez. She's Henry Cejudo trains her. She had like I think a brother that passed away from cancer who was a wrestler. She had a pretty rough story. She's 10-1. She also has like no background in martial arts, just like a good athlete that they taught how to fight. And she's fighting Jasmine Jasudavicius, who's also a good fighter. So there's a lot of good fights on this, but you think it'd be more Mexicans being at, Noche UFC, but they just tell people why this is.
Did they just name one of their fight cards that, or they just did this overnight? Because I've heard nothing about it till today.
They started saying it, and I was like, the fuck? It reminded me of when, like, on Dodgeball, when they were like ESPN, the Ocho. It just kind of had that, like.
They need Joe Silva back as the booker is what they need.
Yeah.
They need to
I still talk to him on occasion, by the way, Joe Silva. He doesn't like talking to me, but I like hitting him up and talking to him. So.
Or they need to just tell people what they're doing, So, by the way, before we leave, so we talked about, have you watched any TUBI movies, Jared?
Yeah.
So, Don, so TUBI is like this platform.
I think it's TUBI.
Is it TUBI? They have some of the worst.
Because of Loopy, right? Never mind.
The best, worst movies, okay?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Very, very low budget movies, but they're hilarious. Like one of them was called My Side Piece Hit the Lotto.
My what?
My side piece hit the lotto. And so TUBI, there's this one.
When I tell y'all I'm done with TUBI, I want to give it a try because everybody is talking bad about it.
All right,
but when you have a movie called My Side Piece Hit the Lotto.
Okay, hold on.
Come on now.
You can't see it yet, by the way.
All right, hold on. So
is that even?
Hold on, share a screen. Hold on. Share a screen. There we go. So yeah, this is fuck, how do I do this? My side piece hit the lotto. I have to boom. Yeah, so here, this guy's very
When I tell y'all I'm done with TUBI, I am. I want to give it a try because everybody is talking bad about it. But when you have a movie called My Side Piece Hit the Lotto, come on now.
So
you got Matchbox cars on her hair.
But this one's my favorite. So TUBI's days are numbered. What is this, right? So hold on. All right, TUBI. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
All right, so.
Numbered. Don't make no sense.
Look at this. So that these two
good low budget. I really.
All right, so they're in the hospital. The girl's having a baby, right?
What is this?
Empty hospital.
Oh my fucking god. That is great. That is the bot of movies.
Like they use white dolls. I mean, what? Oh,
it's fucking great.
It's the best. It is the best. So what do you got coming up? Oh, by the way, so Phil Baroni. I don't know if you've been following this case. Baroni, Jared, he went to jail for murder in Mexico. He's in a Mexican prison for murdering his girlfriend. I think it was January 1st. So according to some guy who makes movie, what's that guy's name? John Bravo Films. He seems to be on it. The Mexican cartel, they raised $300,000 for him. This guy who is Phil's friend, who's a pro wrestler and a lawyer.
Right. He's a Renaissance man.
A Renaissance man. And he's now in a Mexican cartel halfway house. So that's if anybody was wondering about the Phil Baroni update. There it is.
Phil Baroni.
Wow.
Man.
And what's
it's been a while since I
city?
heard that name.
What was that?
What city?
Sean, you know?
I think it was Tijuana.
Yeah, so he's in a Tijuana halfway house. They raised $300,000 for his thing. Also, I know Mayhem got arrested for beating up a bouncer last week.
Again?
Yep, but
yeah,
I don't know because he's making TikTok videos about it. So I don't know if he's doing it from the jail or what. But as far as Greg goes on the podcast, Greg Wilson, love Greg, one of my favorite people, one of my best friends. he needed to take a break from the podcast and some other stuff to focus on. He'll be back whenever he's back. But shout out to Greg. Love that guy.
Yeah, tell him hi.
No fallout or no bad vibes, nothing but love for Greg. So what do you have coming up, Jared Brooks?
Hopefully I get to defend my title by the end of the year. It's in the talks. So I'm looking forward to, showing the things that I've been working on the past 9 months as well. I've gotten better on the feet. I've gotten better on the ground. And, bless Mikey Musumeci for really pushing another fire under my ass by getting a loss. It's been a while since I lost. So it feels really, really good to know that even though I lost, that I can come back and get back on my feet.
Does that count as a loss, though? It was a grappling competition. Was that a loss for you?
Dude, I look at everything in combat sports. It doesn't matter if it's a fucking track event. If that person beat me, I just lost in martial arts. So I don't consider it a mixed martial arts loss, but I consider it a martial arts loss. So I don't fucking like to lose at the end of the day. So I'm super competitive, and I will work to the ends till I am the best at everything. So I'm 30 years old. I'm getting in my prime right now, and I'm learning still. So I'm not worried about anybody. I'm just wanting to go face to face with everybody.
Love it. Love it. Sean, what do you got?
Mainly doctor's appointments. I drove 5 hours yesterday for a doctor's appointment. So it looks like it's
Get a faster car.
Huh? What's that?
Get a faster car.
Now, Sean, how far do you live from Jared?
I don't know are you still in Indiana, Jared, or you live in? I thought you moved, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm in Michigan. I'm at right on the outskirts of Detroit.
Oh yeah, so he's a ways for me, probably 5 hours, 6 hours.
About 5 hours.
Why would you move to Detroit?
It was more of the boxing aspect, and there's a lot of really good wrestling and jiu-jitsu over here as well.
And you're still training with oh my gosh, can't believe I just forgot his name. Your main coach. What is it?
James Lee.
James Lee, yeah, I love that dude, man. He's awesome.
Awesome. James is fucking awesome.
And then Don, what do you got coming up?
Oh hell, it's none of your goddamn business. The fuck is wrong with you?
Thank you. Appreciate that, Don.
Come on, get her. I'll tell you, my dick will get up if you come over here, sit on my lap. How's that sound? You back?
That sounds very scary. I appreciate that, though.
Don reminds me of a character off of Blazing Saddles. Fucking great.
It's like,
which one? Any of them, huh?
He said, "Y'all are jumping around like a bunch of Kansas City
faggots." Dang it!
Dude, Don, it's ridiculous.
That's a great movie. I bought that movie. I went to a garage sale, yard sale. They had Blazing Saddles. They had 1941. They had Animal House, used cars. And then
was it your garage sale?
Hell no, man. It is now, man. It is now. I got them all, man. It's like a hit in a gold mine. Jeez.
That's awesome. Well,
I was so excited.
Well, thank you guys so much. And I'll see you guys later. Take care, guys.
See you guys, man.
You guys.
Bye-bye.